welcome to 49 Unbeaten, the official ArsenalVavel podcast. This is episode 22. I'm again joined by Jack, Dan and Ben, and we're here to preview the Leicester City versus Arsenal Premier League game taking place lunchtime on Sunday. So, first things first, we beat Benfica in the Europa League. We're through. We spoke about that on our Benfica review podcast. So, good news. We're going into the game with some momentum, at least. Sort of. We won our last game, which they didn't. I think that's the most important thing. First of all, the kickoff is at a really strange time, considering two teams who played in Europe, especially considering you've got teams who didn't play in Europe playing at a 10:15 kickoff. Will that have any impact, considering we've travelled back from Athens? It's not even like I forgot where we played with these neutral venues. It's a bit of a strange one. Is it have any impact on us?
Yeah. I mean, we played home in Athens, whereas Leicester played home at the King Power. So, I mean, they've got a 20-minute journey up the road to go home. You know, we've got a 4-hour flight back on a Thursday night, and then we've got probably training maybe on Friday, training on Saturday.
At the time of recording, the players are still in Greece because Thomas Partey put on his Instagram story a video of him and Bellerin on exercise bikes like next to the sea. So they're probably flying.
That's London Colney, mate.
Have you not been to the training grounds?
But yeah, I mean, if they're still in Greece, they won't fly back till this evening. You think they might train on Saturday and then travel down Saturday night or Sunday morning? That's a horrible schedule for anybody.
They will travel Saturday. They always travel the night before for the game, so they'll probably.
That's so hectic, isn't it? That is so hectic.
They'll probably fly to Leicester, to be honest.
Yeah, it makes sense. They'll probably fly to East Mids and get a coach up or something to Leicester.
Yeah.
Because you can't, there's no point. What's the point getting a massive haul? Like, they'll just all sleep on the coach or something. So it will probably be tied. You'll expect to see a very similar team as well to that you expect, considering what our priorities are. Do you not think?
No, I can't see it. I think we'll rotate hugely. I can't see Saka playing. I really hope he doesn't, because he looked dead on his feet. I watched him I literally just focused on him for like the first 5 minutes of the second half of that game. Yesterday, and he was just walking around. He looked dead on his feet. He came up with the goods, but ultimately he's 19. I mean, he's played 90 minutes basically every game since Christmas, and we've needed him. But I just think that if we can give him a rest, that would be brilliant. I know we can't really afford to, but if there is a game we can rest players, I think it's going to be this one.
Considering his impact on the game, do you think we'll see maybe a start for Willian?
I could see it happening. I could see Willian starting. To be fair, we are in a good position where Pepe, our squad depth is pretty good.
Yes.
And Pepe can step in. I could see maybe Smith Rowe starting in that kind of 10 role, and then maybe Willian on the right with Lacazette up front.
Lacazette, I was going to say Lacazette start.
Yeah, but I think I do think Partey will start. I think it will be a great opportunity to see Partey get 90 minutes under his belt, and hopefully him and Xhaka, although maybe Elneny could play because Elneny and Partey played so well earlier on in the season. So that could be a combination we could see. But yeah, I do think there will be some rotation. But you think about the schedule. They will fly back today, probably won't train today. If they're doing anything, it's going to be in Greece. It's a 4-hour flight, I believe. And then Saturday, bearing in mind they'll have to travel to Leicester on the Saturday. So that's tomorrow. And they might do like a light training session at London Colney. And then Sunday you've got the game, so they're barely going to have time to do a training session, whereas Leicester can go home tonight, they can train today, they can train tomorrow, and then they've got an extra couple of days advantage where we've got to come back from Greece and then got to Leicester. So they do have an advantage on us.
It is frustrating that, I mean, that'll be the excuse, won't it, from Arsenal fans? If we lose and lose heavily, it'll be, oh, look, we've had some bad luck with our sort of flight getting pushed back, or whatever it was, we didn't have enough time to rest. Team rotation. I'd love to see Martinelli play and have a game. just because it would be, he's not played a lot recently. It would be refreshing to see him back in. I know he's had his injury, but just to get him eased back into it. If we do rest, that is. We don't necessarily have a great historical record away at the King Power, do we? We've not enjoyed our trips there recently. Better form at the Emirates. It's not the past season or two, but it's not the away game you sort of want after a competitive European game, especially considering we had to travel somewhere like Athens. As we said, it's a longer flight than we'd want. It's just not fallen into place, this run of fixtures, has it?
I don't think, to be honest, obviously the Leicester game approaching, I don't think the pressure isn't on us. The pressure is on Leicester, obviously being knocked out in the Europa League, having to maintain the form in the Premier League to try and get those Champions League spots. Our season's already over in the Premier League, isn't it? We're not going to get. We may not even qualify. I doubt it. We even qualify, getting top 6.
Yeah.
So in our heads, we've got to think that our priorities are with the Europa League. There's no pressure on us. Let's just go at Leicester and try and upset their season in a way. But as you said, our form away at Leicester isn't great. But as I said, there's no pressure on us. So I don't see why we can't just go at them.
Our league season's not over. We're playing for a place in the Europa Conference League, aren't we?
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah,
that's what we're going to qualify for, isn't it?
Would that competition be Tuesday nights, or would that be like another night of the week that we just don't know about yet?
They probably paid like
Thursdays as well, because the Europa League getting reduced in size. It's going from 46 teams to 32. So I think they'll both be Thursday nights.
They'll probably
imagine like a Thursday midday kickoff.
No, they'll probably play because of the depressingness of the competition. They'll probably play it like Monday 9 a.m.
Monday nights.
That would really be nice, like 9 a.m. in the morning.
Going back to Leicester, though, there are positives to take. Yeah. They haven't. They've only lost once in the league so far since Christmas, so that's not a positive to take. But they are without James Maddison, who's been brilliant this season. Probably right up there with Grealish and Fernandes as the best sort of attacking midfielder in the league.
And De Bruyne.
De Bruyne, not so much this season, I suppose, as in terms of headline act, but he's definitely been very good still. But James Maddison's just been, I think he's really what ties that side together. They look sort of short of creativity when they go with, because they've obviously got Ndidi and Tielemans, and then Maddison sort of given that free, sort of like Grealish, but in the middle instead of on the left. Don't really need to do much, just get the ball and play it forward to Vardy and Barnes. Now they've sort of lost that link, so it'll be really interesting to see how they try and deal with that. And I think that we could really benefit from his absence, because I don't think they'll get the ball up to Vardy and Barnes fast enough for them to really be a threat in behind like they were like they were when they scored last time we played them.
You could imagine Vardy. I know he loves playing against Arsenal, and it's important for Leicester to win to maintain their Champions League push. Almost to rest Vardy, he was almost forced to play him in the Europa League with the injuries they've had. Maybe bring him on as a sub. He'll probably still score against us, but we could be dealing with like an Iheanacho situation rather than Jamie Vardy. We hope.
Yeah, I can see Rob Holding and Pablo Mari maybe coming back in as the defensive pairing to give Gabriel and David Luiz a rest, because maybe not Rob Holding, because he's still following concussion protocols. But
I'd give Callum Chambers a run out. He got his Europa League appearance. I think we're going to rest some centre backs, and Rob Holding's unavailable, I wouldn't complain if Callum comes in there.
I don't think Callum Chambers will be ready. I think you're going to see one of David Luiz or Gabriel with Pablo Mari. But Callum Chambers hasn't played with Pablo Mari. I don't think he's not Gabriel, and I doubt he's played. He played limited time with David Luiz, so he's not got that understanding to jump straight into that deep end.
I'm already having flashbacks, like sort of Vardy turning Pablo Mari about 40 yards from goal.
To be fair though, I like Pablo Mari though. I do like him.
I like him as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
think you've got to. He's the
but
sort of
yeah,
player
yeah,
that you've got
yeah,
to be careful about where you play him because
yeah.
he's very good in certain situations. But if you expose him, he will be very exposed. It's like Mertesacker. Often
Yeah.
we would play Mertesacker, but we'd also have Gabriel Paulista when he was here, and we'd play him alongside Koscielny for some games because Mertesacker would just get ruined down the wing.
Can we imagine it's a game that Tierney would be rested for? He's played 90 minutes against City. I think he played 90 minutes. He might have just come off at the end. He played a good most of the game the other night. He played 20 minutes, I want to say, against Benfica in the first leg. Coming back from an injury, he's played a lot of football. Could we maybe see Cedric coming in at left back?
Yeah, I think so. I've been quite impressed with Cedric, to be quite honest. Filling in that role. I think it'd be interesting. I think again, you said Tierney coming back from injury. He's played a lot of football since coming back from injury. So I think it'd be with priorities with the Europa League. I think it'd be probably best to rest Tierney and maybe bring Cedric in. It's like similarly what we've done with Partey, him coming back from injury. We're not rushing him back. So, missing, he came on for the last 10 minutes last night in the Europa League. Maybe.
Very good.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe switch that around. Obviously, start Partey, rest Tierney, play Cedric in that role. Probably be best to do.
I do think if you play Cedric though, there is definitely a better case for Pepe playing on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Because I think when Tierney and Pepe play together, it's sort of like they both want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on that left hand side where Pepe's got sort of the license at the moment. Because he is so left footed, and Tierney's pretty left footed too. It's just sort of all the same thing. Whereas with Aubameyang, when he's there, at least he'll drop inside, sort of leaving the space for Tierney to go in behind. The same with Smith Rowe when he drops in. So I think with Cedric that you probably do need a left footer on that side, just to sort of keep some semblance of balance for the team and sort of the way we play.
We know how Leicester like to play. It's very much about pace. It's hitting teams on the counter attack, and it's not something we're necessarily great at coping with. Although we like to do it as well. We like to hit teams on the break. I read a stat that Gabriel gave the ball away, I think 12 times in the Europa League on Thursday, which could, if you do that against Leicester, if Barnes plays, if Vardy plays, the pace they have could be really costly. So I think if we were going to make a change in defence in centre back, it could be him to come out. And I said that Saka is really fatigued. And as I said, he's 19. He's been in the senior team for almost like what feels like a season and a half properly now. He's been...
It was Eintracht Frankfurt, wasn't it, where he got his first goal last Europa League campaign.
Yeah.
He feels like a really integral part of this team. And if he's fatigued going into this key moment in our season, is expected considering the amount of games he's played. So I think he'll be one that I think has to just have a rest. Considering the games we've got coming up, I mean, we can't forget we've got Spurs in a crucial game of two out of form teams who should be in Europe next season. His fight and his passion and his love for Arsenal, we need him for that game. So I'd be more than happy to rest him. What do we think? How can we see this one going? Because we don't have a great record at the King Power. We've got the odd win here and there. You think back to 2015, we won there. Was the last decent performance I can remember us having there. We've lost 2-3-0 the last couple of years. Obviously, Maddison was a huge part of that. Vardy has a great record against us. I'm pessimistic, even though we've just won.
You're always pessimistic.
I know I'm always pessimistic, but I mean, it's a sort of game that you sort of see on paper. You think third against 11th at their place against a fatigued team, although it's a fatigued team against a fatigued team. It seems to be stacking up against us.
It's kind of destined for us to if it was a fully fit Leicester side in normal circumstances, you'd say it's a destined defeat, another disappointing away day. But I don't know, because we don't know what team's going to be fit. We don't know who's going to be available. Again, we're hoping Partey will come in. These players we mentioned will come in, and we can put in a good performance. But we just need to turn up again. And when you're on this cycle of game after game after game, like with not much breathing space in between, you're like, I'm still just trying to process my thoughts from the previous game, to let alone think about the next one. So I don't know. I think I hope we can win, and when we do our predictions later, we'll see how cursed that is. But I think we've definitely got what it takes to win, and it's just Arteta's got lots of players that can be fresh. Your Martinellis, your Lacazettes, your Pepes, and it's just...
You look so angry at me right now.
It's just whether those players, you say Willian, if he can play well like he played in the last game against Benfica, then of course he's got to be in there. But I'd hope Martinelli, Pepe, Lacazette, maybe Smith Rowe, who came off against Benfica, these players are at Arteta's disposal as fresh legs, and he needs to use them.
Yeah,
I think it's a really interesting point you make about us trying to process last night's game. We've already got to think about some Sundays, and then you think about it, we're not even playing the game. Like, we're just sitting here watching the games and thinking, okay, well, we dealt with, like, you're right, we're still trying to process what happened yesterday, and we've got to go, okay, Leicester. And the players are going to have to be doing the exact same thing. And you've got to give them a lot of credit, I think, for achieving what they've achieved this season. Not Arsenal specifically, just players more generally, for managing to play, twice, 3 times a week at this sort of level, and turn in performances like they have, and turn in the season that we've got. Because they're going to be doing the exact same thing. It'll be playing, and then, we used to play Sunday evenings, didn't we? We had that horrible period in November and December where we play Sunday evenings, and then you turn and look at Thursdays, and like it's very impressive what they've done, I think. And it just feels like at some point teams are going to just burn out, and I think Arsenal might be one of the early ones to do it.
I mean,
they're going from Greece to Leicester in the space of like 48 hours. Like, their bodies are going to be so like, okay, sun's out, like, what's it, like temperatures of probably up to 20, 30 degrees, are nice and like tropical temperatures. And then they're going to Leicester.
Yeah, no, put it that way, you're right. It's going to be so weird, isn't it? It's so weird going from one extreme to another. Like, it's going to be, I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be tough to.
I think it'll be mentally draining as well.
Yeah, I think that the most. I think not as much, obviously physically drained, but mentally as well. Just having to, it's going to be tough on the players. I think tough on Arteta as well.
He looked so happy after we won. After that final whistle, he was going around hugging all the coaches. Yeah. He was beaming, and we've not seen that from an Arsenal manager for probably since Wenger and that FA Cup win. It's not felt like we've seen that joy in a manager. In retrospect, it's in a round of 32 European, like second tier European game. You're a bit like, we want to win, but the fans get happy, but you don't often see the players get that delighted. Like a couple of years ago when whoever we played in the round of 32, I forgot. It was like, all right, we were expected to go through and we went through. He's brought joy to that, and coming down from that emotional high, as you said, both as players and for those staff, to ready yourselves and then go into a crucial league game. Again, sort of every game now, we've said, is so important if we want to have a good end to the season and qualify for Europe through the league. I know we joke about the Conference League, but if it's a shot at a European trophy, we'd be disappointed. We'd be upset, and we'd be disappointed that we've qualified for this sort of the Mickey Mouse Cup of Mickey Mouse Cups. But we take it. Would would you really not be in Europe to play in the Conference League?
Yeah.
Like Ben said, like Ben said the other week, if we were in the UEFA Conference League, it would just depress me.
Imagine if we didn't win it as well. Like,
yeah, imagine that.
Like we go out to some team that you've never heard of. There's always that risk.
We'd probably get Olympiacos in the final.
Yeah.
And then Socrates would probably score the winner, hold the UEFA Conference League trophy and go, "Thank you, Arsenal." It's be horrendous.
The Europa Conference League is just. I don't like the concept. I don't like the what of it. I don't like. I hate even more the thought of Arsenal being in it, because it sounds It sounds stupid, but the best way to get back into Europe is to be out. It's like the top European competitions is to be out of the European competitions, especially with sort of the team we've got together, where Partey can't play 3 times a week without his body breaking down.
Yeah.
Saka looks knackered. Tierney always gives 110% and is always knackered. We've got 11 players who on their day would probably, if everyone's playing to their top ability and we get a bit of luck, we could challenge most teams in the league. But when they're playing after, 2 days after playing in Benfica or in Greece, it's sort of like, what do we expect from them?
We've got, you think about, like, it's just, if we got into the UEFA Conference League, when Josh Kroenke and all the board do their interviews before the season saying, we're going to be in the Champions League and Vinay and...
Be excited.
He'd be like, we qualify for the Conference League, and he'd be like, so our aim next season, we want to be back in Europa League, Thursday nights footballs, and you just be like, we're just getting further and further down.
I don't know. We wouldn't complain if we qualified today, would we? Really? I know we joke, but
I wouldn't say I wouldn't complain as such, but I wouldn't if a single first team player played that competition before April. I think there would be serious questions asked.
I said in the other one of the other podcast episodes, we'd probably do like a trophy parade as well if we won it.
We would. We actually would.
Hey, I'd go. I'm just saying.
I'd go. Yeah.
Jack Wilshere doing his
song.
Yeah, we've won a European trophy. It may be the UEFA Conference League, but it's bigger than the Audi Cup. So Tottenham are still a smaller club than us.
You know what? Actually, on that topic, I'd bring Jack Wilshere back just to play in that competition.
Yeah, make him captain. Stick him in the 23s and make him captain for the team of that competition.
Yeah,
and just bring back all the legends. Like bring everyone out of retirement. Like Henry, he's quit his job in Montreal. We can come back and play next season. just register all the bring Bentner back, get Sonogo in from Huddersfield. Just get all the legends.
Get the band back together. That was brilliant.
When we first got in the Europa League, I remember the first season, everyone was like, all the memes of it's a whole new world, and we're going to war-torn countries, we're going to the farmers' leagues, we're going to all these places.
Circle.
If that's the Europa League, what's the Conference League?
Conference League.
I think it just sounds depressing as well.
Yeah.
I've already come from sort of disappointment from not being in the Champions League to appreciation of the Europa League intro theme now. When I hear it, I'm like, you know what? That means
I love the Europa League. I love the Europa League. If we aren't in the Europa League next season, I'm going to be fuming.
I want to know what the title music for the UEFA Conference is going to be, because Champions League music's brilliant. And
I want to know who sponsors
That's
it.
the thing. The
Who do we get to sponsor it?
We've been in the Europa League that long, right? Every single time I hear the music, Champions League, you usually get like your hair stick up. My hairs stick up when I hear the Europa League music.
No.
It does.
This is the levels we've fallen to.
It has there.
And
we're joking about
the UEFA Europa Conference League.
And 2 seasons away from now, we'll be talking the same thing because they will have introduced the 4th tier of European football. And we'll probably be falling into that bracket and be like, I miss the days of playing in the UEFA Conference League. Those were the days. Those were the glory days. We won European trophies.
What I love as well is it already takes Josh about a minute to describe what we played in last. So, the UEFA Europa League round of 32 second leg. Imagine we had to do that for the Conference League.
UEFA Europa Conference League round of 64
Yeah.
against some team I can't pronounce. Right, rant over about European.
Probably introduce like Welsh teams and Scotland and Irish teams in this.
Yeah.
It'd probably be even more kind of.
We played Dundalk in the Europa League, so we can't be Irish.
Yeah.
We might introduce American teams to the conference. Oh no, because European.
M&S.
That's going in the clips.
That's so good clipped.
I'm really apologise. No, sorry.
Right. To save Dan
Back to
the embarrassment of making another stupid comment about American teams playing in Europe, let's make some predictions for the weekend. Chat with you. How's this one going to go?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I really don't know. Right, let's try. I'm gonna again. I can't predict Arsenal to lose. I can't. I'm gonna go. I think the points will be shared. I think it'll be 1-1. I think.
Don't say that.
Oh, sit on the fence.
You know what's really depressing? I know exactly that. I know exactly where your mind's gone for that because I did the exact same thing. I thought, oh, it's going to be 2-1 Leicester. Can't say that on podcast. It's going to be 1-1.
So Ben, what coming to you next? How like?
Yeah, I'm going to say. I'll be different. I'll say 2-2.
Oh, you stole my one, Dan.
I can see it.
Oh, I'm feeling really confident going into this game. No, I think I don't. This may come back to bite me, but I don't think there's going to be many goals. I think it might come down to a very similar game like the Brighton one was earlier this season, where it's a very kind of cagey affair.
Yeah.
I can see it be a low scoring, but again, I can never predict anything other than an Arsenal win. So I'm going to say 1-0 to the Arsenal.
I had
A resident pessimist.
I had 2-2 in my head. Genuinely, I had 2-2 in my head. But I'm thinking about it now. I don't think we can unless Leicester have completely bluffed us with this Maddison injury. He is so integral to that team. We talk about Vardy, but he's really important as well. They've lost James Justin. You'd expect Luke Thomas to play at left back. You'd expect whoever's on our right wing.
Is Fofana still injured?
I think so. So
Soyuncu's back, so it's not too much of an issue.
Soyuncu had a poor game on Thursday. I want to say.
Go on, do it. A day.
Say it.
Say it. Arsenal. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go 2-1 Arsenal because I think Vardy won't play the whole game. Maddison won't play. They're hit with injuries as well. I think we can exploit that. So I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal and hope we don't get trumped 3-0.
It's going to be really depressing when we have to do the review and we've lost 4-1, isn't it?
Yeah. Just all sit there in silence, just sigh.
Oh. I'll just be like, I mean, I did say we're going to score one goal.
All right, that is it. We will be back on Monday to review Arsenal's 2-1 win over Leicester. Thank you all for coming on. We've had a good laugh. We're in a good mood. We won in Europe. We've put that last year voodoo behind us, so going out straight away. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. We are on Instagram now. Make sure to find us, link in the description. Follow us on our Twitter, all our socials, and come back on Monday for Arsenal versus Leicester review. Thank you and goodbye.